You're going to play anything?
Hello. So my presentation, I'm just going to be giving you an overview of what mine would be, because mine is the first week, which is 3 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, online sociology course. It is an online course, but it's a synchronous course. So there would be a Zoom meeting that the students would have to log into for each class. So, but before I go into that, I will, I'm gonna play my narrative real quick for you guys, which some of you have seen it.
And you want to be sure that you hit audio.
Yes. There's so many tabs open.
Right.
I have 2 screens too. So
It's all the different interfaces too.
yeah. Okay, so let me do share screen. Oh, there it is. How do I do the audio?
Preview. Oh, when you share your screen, there's a button in the lower left-hand corner of the share screen window when you choose the window. So you might have to stop sharing and then share again.
Okay.
So if you click share screen, and before you click which screen you want to share, click on the lower left-hand corner and there's an option that says sound.
Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Sorry about that. All right. Hi, I'm Michael J. Martino, and here's a little bit about how I got to where I am today. And spoiler alert, it wasn't via. Oh, sorry about that.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Michael J. Martino, and here's a little bit about how I got to where I am today. And spoiler alert, it wasn't via Google Maps. My life's journey technically started back in March of 1984, when I was abruptly evicted from, well, my mother. However, the journey that I will be discussing here starts during my time in 2nd grade, which was during the 1991 to 1992 school year. And it wasn't exactly a piece of cake. So this journey started in room 17, which was on the 2nd floor of the Lafayette Elementary School in Everett, Massachusetts. And during this year, I realized I wanted to become a teacher. And you might think that it was due to having a great teacher that inspired my desire, but not so much.
Okay, class, be good or I'll poke you until you cry.
My teacher's nasty ways are what truly inspired me to want to pursue teaching initially. Having that experience made me realize that I wanted to be the opposite of what she was, a witch. My desire to teach took many different shapes and forms over the years. From 2nd to 6th grade, I wanted to teach elementary school.
in middle school, 7th and 8th grade, I wanted to be a middle school geography teacher. Then in high school, 9th to 12th grade, I wanted to teach high school Spanish. Then in college, nearly everything other than math or science. Despite studying on my own as a child and playing school by myself in my bedroom growing up, wow, I miss having the imagination that I had. Furthering my education was not the right choice for me right after high school in 2002. So, when the time was right, I got my associate degree back in 2012 from Northern Essex Community College. Then I had a combination of working full-time for a few years and studying for my bachelor's degree at both Salem State University and University of Massachusetts Amherst, where I am now. Throughout my college experiences, taking sociology courses really had the most profound impact on me. And as you may or may not know, sociology is the scientific study of society. The groups, individuals, cultures, everything that goes into society. That's what sociology studies. Sociology encompasses so much, but the biggest things that got me hooked were learning about things such as gender, deviance, inequality, race and ethnicity, and the two that have directly impacted me are social class and sexualities. Sociology is even more interesting now than it ever was before when we take into account things such as media, technology, or social media. And, some even say that social media is actually taking the social out of social interaction. Sociology's impact made me finally decide where my journey on this path will stop. I plan on getting my PhD and becoming a professor of sociology.
So that was my narrative slash introduction for purposes of this presentation. And so, like I said, the presentation outlines the first three classes of the introductory course. And I have organized all of that on using Canvas, which I will share that with you now. Sorry, too many tabs.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
That was so fun. That was a lot of fun.
Okay, so let me go do screen share again. So this is what it's pretty much chapter 1, which is the first half of the first module. And I've linked the textbook that I'm basing this on, but I've also incorporated things that I have made. Like the first one here, which I'll go into, is this one is the night lab timeline that I made. And it just goes through the timeline of pretty much the history of sociology and the people who were founders and very famous sociologists. just go through that really quick. And as you can see, this I actually, I was able to embed it directly into Canvas. So, then,
Finally, a user-friendly platform.
Mhm. Canvas for teachers only. It's not it's Canvas, not Canva, right?
Canva is something separate.
Okay, that's what, okay. So you use Canvas. Okay.
Yes.
And Canvas is an LMS system like Blackboard.
Oh.
And so he's creating an online class.
Okay. Well, I got
Mhm.
that, but I didn't know. Okay, but it's like Blackboard. Okay.
Right, so he can do announcements and he can do grades and there's,
Oh, wow. Oh, Canvas. I see it.
Oh, here we go. So we did that. And then those are textbook things. That's the textbook PowerPoint. Then here, this is a PDF that I uploaded. It's an article that it pretty much it gives a very unique observational perspective. As you can see, it says body ritual among the Nasarima. But by the end of that article, you know, a plot twist happens, and Nasarima is actually just American spelled backwards. But in the article, it the way that Horace Minor, the author, is describing things, he's actually just describing American culture, but the way he goes about describing it, like for example, he talks about, he describes dentists as holy mouth men. So when you hear it like that, you start thinking about, you think that you're reading about an entirely different culture, you know? And so it's a very interesting approach, and I find it to be very interesting in starting the study of sociology. So then the next segment here is my play pause it of my whiteboard animation. So we will look at that real quick.
Hello. We are going to talk about sociology and what it is. So, starting over here, what is sociology? Sociology is the scientific study of society and the behaviors within society.
So as you can see, this is just practice. So yeah, I got it right.
hey,
So, then we go this way. This is to view, and this is a magnifying glass to designate scientific view of society. Then we look at all these different societies around the world. So this is one society, this is another, this is another. Obviously, there are more than 3 societies in the world. But when we look at sociology at this level, this is what we call the macro level. Okay? Okay, so then if we want to take a smaller view of sociology, what we would do is we'll use you as an example. So here you are here. So when we look at the micro level, we look at smaller dynamics of society. So what are dynamics that you are probably related to on the micro level. And we'll just put down here micro. To designate.
And as you can see with the macro micro, I just gave the definitions using play pause.
Designate this side. So for you, you have your family dynamic that you're part of. Okay. Then we'll say this is your work. So we'll just put 9 to 5 to designate that. Then you are related to your work, whether it's a small company or a big organization. Then we'll say you're a student. So A+, hopefully. And then, so you're related to school, okay? And then maybe you're in a relationship. So, put a little heart here. And you are in that relationship. So all of these different levels are all micro levels where you would be related to the micro level of sociology. So each one of these is a different dynamic. Okay, so that's just a brief overview of what sociology is.
So would anyone like to answer this?
Small.
Small.
Yay, you got it right.
Wait, woohoo, I pay attention. I love that you did that by hand. That is wonderful.
And this is just a random question.
And why?
So that is that for that. And then
That is great. I have one suggestion on that. If you move the, I don't want to interrupt, but the macro and micro, those two questions, if you move them to the end with the like a bank of questions, only because that specific animation, it tends to interrupt your message a little bit. The questions
yeah,
at that specific time tend to interrupt your message. It has such a nice flow to it that I'm wondering.
so then following that, there's a worksheet that I came up with, which is I have a Google Doc that way the students can go into the doc. I actually already have it open, and then they can make a copy of it, and then they can answer the things which were pretty much just outlined in that video. Defining sociology, defining the micro level approach, defining macro level. And then for each of them, there's 5 personal connections that I would like them to make. So, I mean, as the video, the play pause video outlined, you know, you have your family dynamic, your work dynamic, your school dynamic. So there's all different things. And then at the, all right, I did that backwards. So macro level is the big ones, then micro level is the smaller ones. And, you know, macro level can be that, okay, I am part of the population of whatever town. You know, things like that that are bigger. Or I am a resident of the United States. You know, things like that. And then, yep. Sorry. that was the worksheet. And then I made a Quizlet study set, which in class, what I actually plan on doing is using Quizlet Live, and that will, you know, that has different things in it. But right here, you know, this is just one option, but there's different things like you can do test. The students can give themselves a test, or the flashcards, which is probably one of the primary things that people use Quizlet for.
I know.
Someone saying something?
I would add, if you're not familiar with Quizlet, it's a paid version, which is fairly inexpensive, but you can also create competitions. So students can compete against each other while you have it live on screen.
Yes. So yeah, this just has, from the first chapter of the textbook, it just has all of the terms, the key terms. And the way that I have it set up is I have it set up as a having 5 points, which those 5 points will be added to the quiz that goes along with the first chapter. So it's like an added incentive for the students. Then the next thing.
Does it measure it based on the completion?
No, it's not based on what they get. It's just for actively participating.
Okay.
So, and then on the third and final class of the week, there's going to be breakout sessions through the Zoom class. And the first one is why study sociology. And I've created a Google Doc for it. That will last for 5 minutes. And the purpose of the Google Docs is so that way each group can add their notes from their breakout session. And that would be the same for all 3 of these breakout sessions. The second one is sociology in the workplace. That will last for 10 minutes. And then the third one is making connections, sociology in the real world, and that will last for 15 minutes. And just to give you an example of this, tab, because I am the king of opening tabs apparently. So yes, I want people to just, as it says here, copy and paste group notes from week 1's Friday breakout groups on making connections, sociology in the real world. At the top of your notes, put your group number in the names of your group members. So then collectively, each group will add to this, and then we will have something that we will refer back to later on in the semester as we cover other topics. So, and then that's enough with Canvas. And then let me show the Quizlet worksheet. I think it's my other set of tabs. Then here is my my WordPress site with my mantra. Always remember to put the I in happiness. So there's that, and then about. I have this, and pretty much what was outlined in my narrative is there. And then media, I have my Spark video, my slide deck, and my Google Doc. And then one other thing, the last thing I will be sharing before I conclude this is another website that I created this semester, which is martinosfreecourses.com. And this upcoming spring, I'm offering free online courses. I'm offering an introductory sociology course. I'm offering an introductory psychology course and a principles of management course. So as you can see here, then this is pretty much, this outlines a lot of stuff that was in the narrative with a little bit of my business background, which is why I'm offering the principles of management course. Then my contact information, which, by the way, if anyone is interested, Google Voice, that's the number that I'm using, so that way I don't have to put my actual number. It's free too. So, and then I have a registration form for anyone that visits and is interested. They can specify what course they're interested in, and provide some information. And yeah, so that is that, and that is everything. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Wow, that's awesome.
So detailed.
And it's moving in a great direction. I feel like, you've come a long way in terms of really formulating your ideas and creating a path. In terms of your Canvas course, I think it all looks amazing. One suggestion I would have on the textbook, you can actually make pages in Canvas and put the PDFs in the pages, and the pages will open up automatically as you scroll through it. So it presents like the reading as part of the course. I don't know what the copyright is around that book specifically. If it's an open source book, it's fine. But you can sort of create a user experience where it stays inside Canvas and it just goes from page to page. And that might be something you want to continue to push forward with. But it's beautiful. You did a lot of really wonderful work.
Thank you.
Anybody else have suggestions or comments?
Great job. A lot of work.
Yeah, I really like the timeline of the history of sociology. I thought that was really cool.
Thank you.
I liked your introduction the best.
Yeah, and the music, the soundtrack. I don't know what that was from, but I loved it.
It was funny.
That was in Adobe Spark.
Was it?
It was just one of the options, so I went with it.
One of the things about, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all.
One of the things about that intro video is that it has a very light and funny approach. And I think that you're starting to reflect that tone in how you did your whiteboard animation as well. And I would encourage you to try to continue with that lighthearted tone because it creates a wonderful learning environment. Matt agrees. He knows about this stuff.
I put myself on mute. I'm in it's muscle memory because when we have these Zoom meetings at work, they always say, make sure you're on mute when you start. So that's my, a lot of nodding, but you don't hear me. That's why.
So wonderful. So we're at 7:30 and Maureen, how are you feeling about doing a presentation? You want to?
I'll go if you want me to. I have, I recorded it yesterday. I did practice runs, so it's on Zoom. So I could play that and then speed it up, or because I think it was like 20 minutes long.
Okay.
And just so I hate to interrupt, but I am gonna have to leave in a few minutes just because tonight I'm bath booking bed guy, so I apologize.
I get
Right,
it.
well, I was just going to say that people, with respect to everyone's time, because we were stopping at 7:30.
Yeah. Do you want me to wait till tomorrow?
Would you be okay with that? Or
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like, we had this.
No, you know what? That would work better. That would be fine.
It would? Okay. So let's
Yep.
plan on that then.
Okay.
And so for that, I thank you so much, all of you, for coming and for presenting. And it's such a joy to see all your hard work come together.
Great job.
Thank you.
everyone.
Great job.
So
See you
thank you.
tomorrow night,
Have a
Maureen.
wonderful-
I'll come back to tomorrow's.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone's coming to your presentation, Susan.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
Just,
oh no.
yeah.
And one last question is, so the recording that we made tonight, do we send that to you in some sort of link via an email?